5 principles with you today. I call them the DREAM principles because each one of them, yeah, it's a cute little acronym, but each one of them starts with the letter of the word dream. So the first of the principles I'm going to start with is where it all begins. Because to go from where you are to have that dream in your life, whatever it is that you've got to know what it is. You have to define your dream. That's the first principle, define your dream. But here's the problem. Here's why most people, those 81% that are unhappy with their lives and they never achieve their dreams, the reason is why is because they've never clearly defined what it is that they want. If you have a dream, you have a destination, you know where you're going. But if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So that's why they never define where it is that they're going, and they travel down the road of life, and then they veer off. They take one road down one end, and it doesn't make them happy. Then they drive down another road on the other end. That doesn't make them happy. And they're always driving down the different roads, never finding the happiness and fulfillment that they want, because they don't know where they're going. If you don't clearly define your dream, how will you know when you've achieved it? So defining your dream, there's two things that you have to do with it. Number one is you have to be very specific with what it is that you're after. What I mean is, if your dream is to be happier, if your dream is to have better health, to have more energy, to have a better career, what does that look like for you? It's one thing to say it, but how are you going to know when you have it unless you define what it is that it looks like for you? If you want better health, what does better health look like? What will you be doing differently than you're doing right now? What does that career look like that you want? What does having more energy feel like for you? Define it as clear as you can. The more clearly you can define it, the more easily it will be to focus on what it is that you want and bring it into reality. Our minds are like that. Our minds are really funny. Because our minds work like a dog when you play go fetch with it. You throw the bone or the frisbee at it, and it goes and runs it, brings it back to you. That's how our minds work. The more clear and vivid the detail of the image you can put in your mind, the more your mind, you give it a command where it says, okay, this is what I want. This is what I can focus on so I can work at bringing it into reality. Does that make sense? So it's got to be very clear, almost to the point where if you're sitting in a movie theater and you were looking up on the big screen and you were watching yourself living your dream, you could see what it looked like. You could see everything that's in that picture. You can see all the colors and all the detail, and you can hear the sounds and you can feel it. That's when you've got a clearly defined dream. The second thing, when you're defining your dream, it's critical to define your dream according to possibilities rather than limitations. I'll say that again. When you define your dream, it's critical to define your dream according to possibilities rather than limitations. What do I mean by that? Think of the way to look at life. There's two ways that you can look at life, and it's almost as if you're wearing a pair of glasses, and there's two sets of lenses. You put on one pair, and on this pair, you're looking through the lens of limitations. When you look through that lens, all you see are all the things that you don't like, don't want, can't do, or can't have. And when you're focusing on that, and that's all you see, all of the possibilities that are around you seem non-existent. You can't see them because you're not looking for them. And you'll be convinced that they don't exist. That's not possible. There's nothing possible for me. This is it for me. I can't have what I want. I can't do it. It's the same thing as if you've ever lost your keys, misplaced a cell phone or your wallet, and you go searching around the house for it, looking everywhere, and it doesn't matter if your kids come up and they're yelling in your ear, your spouse is saying something, or if the TV's on. You have no idea what anybody's saying. You can't even hear it because you're not focused on it. That's the same thing. When you're looking through that lens of limitations, that's all you see. So now when we put that down and you put the other set of lenses on, the lens of possibilities, it changes everything because it opens up your world. You start to look for possibilities. You start feeding your mind with the command of, here's my dream, this is what I want. And your mind will start to generate ideas and solutions to make it happen. You may not be able to get there in the same way that you would before you had MS. There might be things that you're not capable of doing as well or that you could do before, but it doesn't mean you can't get there. You just have to take a different road. But you have to engage your mind in the process of finding the solutions. Given my condition, given my limitations, how can I make this possible? How can I achieve that dream? But you've got to look through the lens of possibilities. had a client that I trained, one of my most memorable clients. And when she came to me, she had been through everything. She had such debilitating back pain because they told her that she had a degenerative condition of her spine. It would never be normal again. The doctors told her, you're never going to be able to lift more than 5 pounds. She spent most of her days, every day, laying on her bed. She had a sheet of ice that was made for her bed because the pain got so bad. After standing on her feet for no more than 15 minutes, she would have to lay down. This was every day. And the doctors put her on the heaviest medications. It was scary, the stuff that she was taking. She had been through multiple surgeries. All the experts and everybody said, this is going to be it for the rest of your life. Just make the best of it that you can. She was 50 years old. Imagine being told that this is the rest of your life. Here's your outlook. Have fun with that. But she came to me. She didn't think that anything would solve the problem, but she just wouldn't let go of the hope. She had a dream. Her dream wasn't like most people having extravagant dreams. It was just to be able to function normally, something that so many people take for granted until they can't do it anymore. She wanted to be able just to go for a walk with her husband without being in pain. She wanted to be able to go shopping in the store, to do things with her kids, work around the house, just regular, ordinary things without being in pain all the time. I worked with her for 3.5 years, and I like to say it was easy and all those great things happened, but there were so many setbacks. I had never met somebody who had such debilitating challenges and so much adversity. I've never seen it before. And I worked with her for 3.5 years. And the one thing she never did was she never let go of that dream. She never gave up. It got really bad at times, but she never gave up. She held on to the dream. And in the end, she got so strong that that 5-pound lifting limit the doctors told her you'd never lift more than 5 pounds, she had 95-pound bar on her back doing squats up and down through her workouts with no pain. She was able to walk for 2 miles, straight out 2 miles, no pain. And in the end, the last thing that I remember with her was training her for the Avon Walk to Cure Breast Cancer. It was in San Francisco. It was a 2-day walk where they covered 40 miles in 2 days. She signed up for it and she walked it. It was all because, as bad as it got for her, through all the adversity and challenge, she never stopped looking through the lens of possibility. She never gave up, and neither can you. So define your dream. To sum it up, remember 2 things. You've got to be very specific. Know what you want in the clearest detail that you can get. And secondly, it's critical to define your dream through the lens of possibilities rather than limitations. Don't look for what you can't do, don't want, don't have. Look at what you want. There it is, and ask yourself, how can I make it happen? So once you've defined your dream, then we get to the second principle, which is the R in the word dream, and it stands for remove the obstacles. I mean, how many of you know, just a show of hands, that along the way to your dream, you're going to encounter some obstacles, right? Because the path is never a straight line to success and to your dreams. It doesn't happen that way. But most of the obstacles that you encounter along the way are not physical. They're mental. Most of them. Even the ones that are physical, they actually have a very strong, significant link to your mind. Not all of them, but most of them. And there's 2 ways to remove an obstacle. You can physically take an obstacle and move it out of your way. But if they're not physically there, then you have to work your way around it. But that's the difference with people who go on to achieve their dreams and those who never do.